Hey, what is going on, everybody? I have a very special toy review for you guys today. I have the Marvel Legends Netflix series Jessica Jones, and we're gonna take a look at the box and take a look at how awesome this figure is. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, as you can tell, you have that standard black Marvel Legends box. It's a window box, of course. You get Jessica Jones, the graphic on the bottom, Legend series. Then you get her logo on the top, which is really cool. I didn't know she had a logo. On the back, you get this cool graphic of her in her action pose. And of course, this is the ManThing Build-A-Figure series, and what's also in this series is the Daredevil, all from Netflix, Punisher, Elektra, which is really cool. I want to get that figure. Jessica Jones, which is what we have here. Blade, which is, I think it's the comic book version. And then you also have Bullseye, which is also very awesome because the Bullseye I remember from Toy Biz was really cool, and he was used for a lot of customs that people made back in the day, and I was one of them, using that custom for certain things. So this is a really cool window pane box. You can see the chest torso of the Man-Thing, and so you get this particular piece for the Build-A-Figure, and then you get this realistic looking Jessica Jones figure, and I thought they really did a great job of this figure. On the sides, you get this cool dramatic graphic of Jessica Jones, just adding to the feel of this action figure, actually. So I'm going to open this up and we're going to take a look at the articulation, the sculpting, the paint applications, and then I'll just give you my overall feeling about this figure. So let's get into it. Alright, so I did open the box, and without before I get into the Jessica Jones figure, I want to start by showcasing this Build-A-Figure part that came with it. So this is the torso for the Man-Thing figure, and if you watched my previous video or my previous toy review, I opened the box for Daredevil, the Netflix Daredevil, and so that Daredevil came with the head figure piece for Man-Thing. So what I'm going to do is, as I continually get these figures, I'm going to build this Man-Thing figure. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach the head onto the torso, and this might take a little elbow grease. Alright. Okay, let's see if he's fully attached there. Let's take a look at him. Alright, he looks really cool. I really like the painting on this. The paint application is really nice. It reminds me of the old Toy Biz days when that was one of their specialties of just creating a really nice dynamic paint job on the action figures, and you could see the variance in paints. You know, you have a base color of that olive green, then you have a little bit of a gray, and then black to just bring out the different details in the action figure. I really like that, and you can see this light colored green on the bottom around the groin area, this nice brown and black tendrils. I mean, it's such a nice paint application, and also the sculpting of this is really nice as well. I mean, it's so detailed. I like how the eyes are just so vibrant and they just stand out. It's such a nice Build-A-Figure. I'm really enjoying putting this together. So yeah, there you go for progress. I really like that they chose Man-Thing as the Build-A-Figure for the series. So yeah, there you go. Alright, so after that, let's get into the actual Jessica Jones figure herself. So what I want to do is I want to start by the paint applications, because this is what really stood out to me, is her jeans. I really like that it's they added some distressing on the jeans and added some wear, and even look at the wrinkles on there. I mean, let's get into the sculpting also. I mean, they look like jeans. It looks realistic. I mean, she's even wearing the combat boots that are those combat boots? Oh, she's even wearing the boots from the Netflix show. I mean, it's a very nice likeness of Kristen Ritter. I really like this. The only thing that she's missing is a scarf, but I think that's cool that they didn't add it, because it might have added some hindrance to the head articulation. And I know the hair might also, I mean, it will already hinder the movement, which is surprising that there's not that much of a hindrance to that. It's a nice movement. It's nice, actually. So it doesn't affect it that much. I do like the wrinkles on the jacket, and just I mean, the choices they made on this action figure is really nice. I mean, look at the wear on the pockets, and where they chose to put the wear on the jeans. It really makes a lot of sense, and they made some really great choices as far as the paint applications go. I mean, they even show the hem of the jeans, the side hems. That's nice. They show, they show the buckles. I mean, where not the buckle, the button where she closes the jeans. Of course, can't think right now. I'm sorry, guys. The jacket is really nice. She has a really cool look to her on the show, and they just made a really nice likeness to it. I like the gloves that they gave her. They made a nice choice of giving her fists as the default hands, and they didn't give any extra accessories besides the build figure. So this is a pretty basic figure, but what they did with this figure is really nice, because they really sculpted her very accurately. I like what they did with the hair too. It's pretty dynamic. I mean, there's no variance in color, which is a good idea, because her hair's pretty close to jet black as it gets. As far as like the facial structure of the figure, it's pretty close to the likeness of Jessica Jones or the actress Kristen Ritter. And without getting too much into details, or actually getting into the details, so Kristen Ritter, what I've noticed is she has pretty sharp features, and they did a really good job of distinguishing these sharp features on her face. As I could tell, like she has a pretty sharp nose, which is a really distinct feature on her face, and very soft chin, which is nice, and they did that to her. They made that on the figure, which is really nice. They gave her some soft eyes, which is cool. It looks pretty close. I mean, as far as the structure overall, I think they did a great job on the structure of her face. I mean, they did a really good job. I mean, it seems like a basic figure, but I think it's so nuanced in that they added realism to it in their own style. The zippers are great. I like that they didn't zip up the jacket, because she didn't zip up the jacket at all in the series. But it's a really cool figure. I mean, I like that she's not in a superhero costume. It's just straightforward. It looks really cool, and it has that playability factor where, if you are into toy photography, right? And you choose to have like a certain amount of people in the background just for building sets or building scenes. You know, you don't have to use her as Jessica Jones. She can just be like, you know, she could just basically be like one of the New York, you know, pedestrians walking, and then you could have this scene, you know, she could be in the background. You know, she has that versatility for this figure. It's really cool. I mean, I really like this figure because it's so different from what you get from the rest of the Marvel Legends. It's a really good figure. Okay, so let's get into the articulation a bit. Okay, so I went into the head movement a little bit, and it's good. I mean, the hair is a bit long, so you can't move her head up all the way. But as far as turning your head left to right, I mean, no problem. I mean, you don't have to turn it 360. I mean, there's really no need for that anyway. You know, unless you want to play some Exorcist, you know, with your toy. I think it's single joint for her elbows, so she doesn't get to have that movement. You know, she doesn't get to bend that all the way. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay, you know, that they sacrifice that, just because they've sculpted the jacket so nicely that if they would have double jointed elbows, that would have taken away from the sculpting of the arm. And you know, I don't think I would want to sacrifice that, because they did such a nice job of this sculpting. I mean, look at all the wrinkles on there. That looks great. And I like that they added all those wrinkles in there, because it gives the effect of, you know, she's always bending her elbow, you know, so that she could, you know, she's in an action pose. It's meant to be bent as a default pose. And that's really cool. That's really cool. So it's not bad that she has, you know, single jointed elbows. That's cool. Of course, the ball joint, that's default on most Marvel Legend figures. The ball joint on the shoulders. Let's see the ab crunch, see how far she can go. And that's pretty good. Especially since I thought the jacket would hinder that movement, but that's pretty good. It's pretty good ab crunch. She can go pretty far back too. That's nice. And the jacket is soft plastic, so it's flexible. So it doesn't, you don't have to worry about it breaking if you're using the ab crunch. That's nice. Let's see if the hips can turn. Okay. Is there a, no, so there's no hip, there's no cut on the hip where you could turn the waist. So that's not bad either. You know, I'm not mad at that either. I just think that the sculpting on this is so great that they can get away with that. Because you could turn it at the top torso, at the ab crunch. Because it has that flexibility of moving up and down, and then you could go almost 360. No, not really 360, but you could turn it enough where it looks natural. And it's stiff enough, I mean, to, where it's not going to just be all like loose at the top. All right, so let's look at the top leg to hip joint, and that's also a ball joint. And let's see how far she could do the splits. Let's see how far she could kick up. That's pretty good. That looks natural. Let's see if she could kick back. Not really. Okay, so her butt cheeks are actually hindering the back movement, and that's okay. I didn't see her doing the back donkey kick in the show anyway, so that's not a problem. You get double jointed knees, which is cool. Let's see how far back she bend this, and then they're ratchet joints, so they're pretty stiff, which is okay. Let's see how far back she can go. Okay, so she could do 90 degrees, I think. I don't think she can go any further. I don't want to break it. Okay, so about 90 degrees, which is okay. And you know, she's not really known as a flexible fighter. I mean, in the show, she's just Jessica Jones. She's mostly like a boxing type. That's her fighting style. All right, let's see what the articulation is for the legs. Let's see if you can move the boots 360. No? Okay, so these are slip-on. That's a slip-on piece. It's not altogether connected. Let's see here, and she could stand on her toes, maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's good movement. Look at that. Go pretty far back with these. That's cool. The only thing is, if you put this, if you pose this all the way, some of her jeans are showing, so it takes away from that believability of the boot. So just slide that back down. But that's really good articulation as far as the legs go. So as far as the articulation, it's slacking a little bit, just to make up for the sculpting and the detailing of the figure. So I think as far as logic goes, right? So sometimes the articulation suffers because the sculpting is so great, or the sculpting suffers because the articulation is so great. So it just comes to a matter of choice, and I believe the designers made a choice, and they made the right choice, and that choice is that the sculpting is really nice on this figure. And so you know, you're not going to get like you know, super fantastic articulation, for the lack of a better phrase, but you know, like there's a good balance between the two of articulation and sculpting. So it really works for this figure. And as far as like this overall, like the overall piece itself, as far as its articulation, detail, paint sculpting, paint application, detailing, the likeness to the actress herself, and just as far as like playability factor, I really like this toy. I really do. Unfortunately, it didn't come with any accessories, but it didn't really need any. The only one it needed is just the Build-A-Figure, right? But I think this is really nice. It's a really nice figure. You know, I would have liked for her to come with maybe some like scarves or something. That would have been nice. Or like you know, I think she had a satchel at one point, or a book bag. I have to go back and watch the Defenders and Jessica Jones, but you know, that would have been cool. But it's just as far as overall figure itself and what's included, I think it works. I give this figure a 9 out of 10. I really like it. I like how it's composed, the distressing on the jeans, you know, the sculpting, everything. It's a really nice figure. I really like this figure. All right. So overall, this is what you get in the set. So you get this figure, you get the torso for ManThing and some progress. So I attached the head to the torso. So I'm what, 2/6 of the way there. So I really like this figure, and I do recommend it. Definitely don't sleep on this figure at all. I mean, it's a really cool figure. So that's it for my review. This was Jessica Jones. It came with a Build-A-Figure piece. It's really cool. I think I'm almost halfway there, finishing the set. And this was my review. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. Bye.